What's up, family? We are live tonight from EQ Labs Southside, and we are going to be talking to Symbolic from Brooklyn, New York, about his poetry, about him as a creative. I'm really excited. Symbolic, you can go ahead and send your request now. But before we start the live, I'm going to ask everybody, once you get on here, be sure to share the live with as many people as possible. I'm going to take some time and do that now. Hang on, Symbolic. I'm going to add you in just a second. Give me just a second to share the live. Share the live, everybody. Share, share, share. Okay. Let's see.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm swell. How are you?
Good.
Hey, it's good to hear. Good to hear. I like your hat. It's fire.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
What's up, everybody coming in? We are live at EQ Labs in Huntsville, Alabama. We have Symbolic on here from
Hey,
Brooklyn.
you know the
Okay.
vibes, big Brooklyn energy.
I'm really excited about this interview. We're going to get started in just a few seconds. Just get some more people on here. Share the live. Share the live. How's your day been?
Fake long. Got home. Oh, straight from home. Then I did this other live and stuff. But other than that, it was calm. Can't complain. It was nice outside. Now it's brick, but it was nice outside, so it was calm. And
See,
how
it's
was
all
yours?
rainy. It's rainy here.
Oh, nah. It's supposed to snow tomorrow, so I guess,
Oh,
I'd rather rain because I can't do snow. It's not my
yeah, I don't
body.
like the snow either.
It's not my body.
It's pretty. I like to look at it,
I
but
knew from young I didn't like snow. I knew off rip. I saw it and I was like, because I do at one point, I would have to shovel it now. And it's just, And
okay,
snow
so
gave me a black eye before. It's wild to say. But yeah, I fell and I got a black eye from snow. So I'm not fucking with snow.
okay, so while we got people coming on here, let's go ahead and get started by you
Okay.
just telling us a little bit about yourself and your journey as a creative.
All right. My name is Symbolic, as you know, the Metaphor King. I'm 1/5 of a team called Street Profits. My creative process, I became a writer because in 2016 I was dismissed from school, and I ended up going back to the same school, but I was dismissed, and um, I used to write like in high school, and then
Mm-hmm.
like when I got dismissed, I needed a way to write about it because I didn't know how to talk about it. Because honestly, I think it's really hard to talk to our parents about being depressed and shit, and I think it's
Yeah.
because it's hard for them to talk to their parents about being depressed. I could go on with that. So I started writing again. And then after that, I became addicted. I started writing, and then I started writing. Then I started poetry. Then I did a poem at the school a year later. So, and then after that, the addiction got crazy because I can't stop writing now. And that's it. That's how I really became a creator. Depression. That's wild, but yeah.
I love it. Well, you got writing out of it. You can never go wrong with writing, and you got a good addiction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
But in your situation, tell me, how has your surroundings, like Brooklyn, New York, inspired your writing? Like, what's that been like?
Let's see. I feel like 'cause I always have deep poems. As for like Brooklyn itself, I have more of like, I guess you could say my black poems because I was the first time I was stopped by an officer. I was 13. I didn't have ID yet. I was just around the corner from my house. I was getting my grandma breakfast. I was off to wake up in pajamas. There was no school, and the officer didn't believe me when I said there was no school. And at 13, because I'm a big guy, so at 13, I didn't really look like 13. I looked like 16, 17, and I was stopped because I fit the profile of a man who had robbed his woman. And when I walked in, it was like a local Spanish shop I go to all the time. And it was like 6 cops. And then the lady, somebody come over here, and then they sized me up. And it was like, oh, wait right here. Then I had to wait for 2 hours. I didn't have a cell phone at the time yet. Still, once again, around the corner from my crib. But luckily, my man's, it's wild that I don't know his name. No one knows all my life. But my man's was trying to tell him I was a good kid, and they finally let me go. So stuff like that. When I write certain type of poems, I think about that one feeling when I was 13, that feeling of my family doesn't even know what's going on. They don't even know that I'm being
Yeah.
stopped right now. The fear of like, and that's even before. I think when I was 13, like it's not like I wasn't tuned, but at the time, the person I believe that I know to be killed by the law was Sean Bell. But I didn't think nothing of it at 13. I just thought all I wanted to was like, oh man, I could get home. It's fine. This and the third. And I've always been the one to try not to scare my family. So I thought nothing of it. I was like, oh, grandma, sorry it took so long. I was stopped by a cop. This at the third. So stuff like that, just surroundings. And it's just not Brooklyn. All boroughs actually inspire me. And sometimes I can't even describe my inspiration. I just think of something, I write it, and it just happens.
Yeah. And
That's it.
a lot of people can't even imagine like getting stopped by a cop and being in that situation. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy. And I'm sorry you had to go through that. Especially as a black man, you know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, sometimes our traumas, our triggers are our greatest inspirations.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that you could see the bigger picture when it comes to your situations and not just, you know, let them get the best of you.
Yeah.
That goes on to the next question, which is in your application, you mentioned that your vulnerability is one of the main things that makes you stand out as a creative. Could you elaborate on that some more?
All right, so boom. You know how like in Marvel, when the Hulk gets angry, he becomes like the Hulk. And it's
Yeah,
really this is not. I'm not. I want you to know I'm not laughing at it, but sometimes the sadder I get, the better the poetry comes out. But
I
it's
can
like, and
definitely
it's also
relate
at
to
the
that.
same time, it's poetry helped me gradually through time be more brave enough to talk about it. Like you feel me? So I'm one of the person like if I'll talk to someone and then I'll just close out. They won't hear from me for a minute. But I'm getting better at communicating. So like this vulnerability is like in a sense it's just me tapping into understanding that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay like because I don't know who started this for men to make you feel like it's weak to have emotions, but and stuff like that. So that's what makes it. That's what makes me me. That's what makes my poetry me.
Yeah,
It's everything around it. And yeah, I just want to. I think the one thing I think to learn from here is eventually one day I could make like a foolproof happy poem because that's just it. I could be starting the first three lines could be happy and then boom, it's like
yeah.
nah, but the shit's really sad though. So you might as well make the fourth and fifth line sad. I be trying. You just.
I can definitely relate to that because I'm a poet too.
Mm-hmm.
So um, I didn't realize it really until I got older how hard it is to be vulnerable with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know when I first started writing, I used a lot of she's and hers, and I
Mm-hmm.
could never say I. I could never say I. So like growing up, I had to work my way through that. So yeah, it's crazy how you say that.
You know what I think? It's crazy because like I said, through poetry I found it to be like my voice. And it's like in this adult age, like time or whatever, I kind
Hmm.
of think back to like stuff when I was like a child that I just let rock. Like, like kids in my school or whatever. I'm not saying I was fully bullied, but it was moments where this shit was like because people was really assholes. And my middle school was not you feel me? So sometimes I think more so is me being pissed off that I didn't speak on it as a kid. So that's what really comes down to like the paper and stuff.
Yeah.
And it pulls like triggers and stuff. Like I have my moments where I feel like I'm in a room with people and I just happen to see people laughing at me. Not gonna lie to you, I'm assuming I'm like, oh niggas is talking about me, cause like that's how grimy kids was in middle school, especially when you were a big kid and just that. So yeah,
Okay, let's get into more about your book, your first book. How was the creative process when it came to putting together Symbolic Chambers?
alright, cool. So my uncle, my godfather, he took me to a book signing of Rakim. Um, Rakim is a relative of mine. I don't be saying that like that, but I went to meet Rakim for the first time. Like he never knew I existed until like that day. But it's the story after. So there's this gentleman. I wish I remembered his name. Me and him so happened to both be on the train, and we was talking about the excitement of getting our book signed and stuff. And this is around the time where I believed in my heart that I could be a rapper. Not me, not I. And I was saying. And it was the connection. So I called myself the Metaphor King because so many stuff connects to me. And there's this game And like the name of it was like an anthology, and then I found out what anthology meant. So I was gonna call it Symbolic Anthology. And I was telling the gentleman, I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about making a book, and I wanted like to describe like poems from my heart. And he was like, we have three hearts in a sense. And I was like, what do you mean by that? And he was like, you got your heart, your mind, and then your gut. So then it's like three sections. And then later down the line, it was like symbolic chambers, because I'm a prisoner to these feelings. And so it was like me trying to escape it. So like, you feel me? You got like the front. The front is to show like I'm behind the bars. My friend from college, Jaman, made this artist by Jam. He's fired. And then I had him in the back put like broken chains. And
Oh, that's
in
nice.
prison in a mental dungeon is like a line from one of my poems. And so basically it's like the three hearts that we think of. It's like my way of escaping these emotions and hoping to be better. So yeah, it's like it's more so deeper pieces off the rip, not gonna lie, from beginning to end. And it's just in a sense for people who like to dive into why my head is the way it is, how the metaphors come out, and this, that, and the third. So yeah, that's where Symbolic Chambers came from.
Nice. And yes, that is a fire concept. I love everything about it. I love that cover.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, my
Okay.
bro
So
did that.
in your application, you also mentioned that you're a part of a team called Street Profits.
Like three of them is up here in the cut. Like, so technically
Yeah.
it's two. Shay's here, but she with Jay Cherie. And then I got my big brother Solange. And then I got my other brother Smooth Baby. I think a lot of my poetry, I've always been me, but a lot of my poetry, I've channeled four of their dopeness to make me even more doper. Um, we've been a team for 2 years now. Um, Words cannot describe how much they mean to me, and I'm thankful that they understand. Like the quote unquote, when I tell you I shut out and I go quiet or whatever, I'm just thankful that the love is always like there when I come back. Like when I just out of know, like, oh hey, like I'm thankful, and this is like all the time because my phone be on do not disturb. I cannot tell you how much I be missing Solange and Jay Cherie's phone calls, and it's not even just like I don't want to talk to them. It's just that I just be here, and they do help me gradually through understanding that I'm not in this shit alone. It's just that it's like it's me every now and again. It's like, oh, I don't want to be a burden to niggas. That's just it. But that's the game. They're all fire. Um, um, yeah, they help me be great. They get me hype. So every now and again when we FaceTime each other, it turns into us doing poetry out of nowhere. And it's like, oh nah, why you wilding? Because now I gotta do a poem. So yeah, that's my
Have
team.
y'all have y'all ever done like a show?
Yeah, we done shows, and we feel me. It's crazy how there was this. I remember just the week when COVID shut down everything. This week we was wilding. We went to the show every day of the week, and we was like, we gonna kill March, and it was like we gonna call it March Madness. Like we was gonna. Maybe I think Smooth and me said. I don't know if we all said it was March Madness though. We was going crazy. Then boom, the world shut down. But we've done shows together. I do have a show in Harlem with Shay March 16th. That's lit. Um, yeah, we do shows together when we can. And yeah, and we out here because Jay Shui's in Cali now. My son Solange's gonna take over Atlanta, and yeah, that's what we do. They kind of cool.
Nice. I love it. Okay, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this a two-part interview. This is part one. I'm going to go ahead and end this one so we can save the live because sometimes Instagram shuts
Mm-hmm.
off on me. So I want to make sure I save this live. So if you came in late, you can go back and you can watch it later. If you're on here, don't go too far. We're going to come right back. Okay. See you all in just a second.
Hi.